Arnold, and these are my concluding remarks for Leadership 501, Leadership and Management. The first time I had heard the term servant leadership was about 3 years ago at my prior company. A new VP was hired and was introducing himself to us at a group meeting and described himself as a servant leader. Although I'd grown up in the Christian faith, I had not until then heard that term. Being struck by it, I began doing some research and found that this leadership style has Christian origins. The book of Mark, chapter 10, verses 43 through 45, tells us that anyone who wants to be important among you must be your servant, and anyone who wants to be first must be a slave to everyone. For the Son of Man did not come to be served. Instead, he came to serve others. He came to give his life as the price for setting many people free. This concept has stayed with me since that day, and I've tried to build my life and career upon that style. This class was very informative and introduced me to a few good concepts. As Nordhaus states, there's two common forms of leadership, assigned and emergent. Assigned leadership is based on a formal title or position in an organization. Emergent leadership results from what one does and how one acquires support from followers. Leadership as a process applies to an individual in both assigned roles and emergent roles. Leadership as a process is a new concept for me and makes perfect sense. Not everyone is what they call a born leader or has the leadership characteristics that might help them become leaders or help them strive in a leadership role. However, following these process steps and the interactions between a follower and a leader are what leadership is about. The other terms, other styles of leadership ethics, servant leadership, of course. The situational approach was very informative to me, though as I read that chapter, I began relating that to myself and just and within my current role and with my company, it began to click. It just started clicking that hey, I never had a formal, a formal description of this until I read this book, and it made perfect sense, and I really appreciated that. The latest thing was the letter to the board. Our last session 4 paper really made me do some soul searching on how I would and how I should respond to a situation like that. I believe this class was very informative and provided good insight to the formal leadership styles and approaches. Thank you and have a wonderful day.